Alright, so as you can tell, I work at Burger King, and to quote Dane Cook, who has an amazing Burger King skit, it's hilarious, I linked it in my outline. My first job at 17 is Burger King, which is basic. Everybody, entry level job, everyone gets that. It's entry level, it's easy, it's made to help people get in the workforce and gain experience on what it's like to be in work. A lot of us are just teenagers going through school, college, high school, whatever. There are some people who are just trying to get back on their feet, and then there's just people who they're retired and they just want something to do. One thing I feel that needs to be addressed about everything, the three main concerns I have would be the work conditions, the environment we work in, the pay. The pay is something that's debate. That's a very debatable thing. And then the other thing would be like the roles we have in the workplace. Like, what is our job? What really is the job that we do? Most people, unless you work there, you only see your front person, the person greeting you, taking your money, taking your order through the drive-thru. But there's so much more that goes on behind the scenes. So to start us off, the work conditions. Right now, especially right now, in the middle of a pandemic, our hours are long and really, really irregular. Like me, I work 40 plus hour weeks. My hours can be upwards of 10 or 12 a day. And they're pretty irregular hours. If you're an opener, you work a 5 to 1, like 5 a.m. in the morning to 1 in the afternoon. Closers work 5 in the afternoon to 1. Sometimes they come in earlier. I've had to come in at 3 and I've stayed till 1 to close. I come in at 5 and I've had to stay till 3. It's 5 in the morning to open and I had to stay till 3 because we didn't have the people to staff it. So we work long, rough hours. And not only that, but the customers that we deal with can be very rude. It's like they don't realize we're a person, especially for me as a front person or a headset person for drive-thru, since we don't have front right now. Our lobby's closed. But for me as a person in drive-thru and I'm on the headset, people don't see me as a person. They just see me as a robotic box. They don't think I'm actually a person that, when you are yelling at that, you're yelling at a person. You're talking to a person who's like me. They're in school, they're struggling, they've probably had a long week. Another thing is the kitchen people. You don't see them, you don't see the immense stress they're under. They're often understaffed. They have to work really, really quick because they're trying to get all of these orders out. You've been to the drive-thru when it's a long line and there's maybe 3 or 4 people in kitchen trying to make all of that food in under 5 minutes to get that out to you guys. And a lot of people get mad when it's not out exactly when they want it. And it's just a lot of work that goes into that. And it's a very high-paced environment that I feel our employees, such as myself, should be paid a little bit more for working as hard as we do. So another thing is the roles. Going into that about kitchen and headset, the roles that you have to do. Usually when we have the right amount of staff, you would be put up front, drive-thru, or kitchen, and you would usually stay there. You usually wouldn't have to learn anything else. But due to being understaffed in everything, we've had many of our people have to be trained in everything because you never know where you're gonna be needed. Like, I have to do all kinds of things. I get called in to open and be in kitchen. I get called in to close and do headset. It's interesting. And then finally, as I've said this entire time, our pay. Currently, I make $10 an hour. Dealing with the high stress of the environment and just the understaffing, especially, and right now with COVID, we have put our lives on the lines for people to come and eat. And it feels like, number one, a lot of people don't appreciate that. And number two, $10 an hour, is it really worth that? You're putting your life and everyone if you have somebody who is high risk for the virus, you're putting their lives at risk too. And I feel that we need to be paid a little bit more to compensate for that. And there's just so much that goes on. Like, for example, we don't have to just know our menu. I've had people come through and order Wendy's menu items, and I have to know, oh, this Wendy's menu item is like this one, or this Burger King item resembles this McDonald's item. Is this what you meant? Or we can do this. We don't have that here. It's a lot more complicated than people think it is on the surface. And being a headset person, I'm one of the few people who gets to talk to customers and interact with them. And after 10 or 12 hours, that gets, well, annoying after a while. I'm not gonna lie. It's just, with everything that we face, the stress, the long hours, and the people, I believe that as a fast food worker, we should be paid a little bit more than we're getting. Yeah, I get that it's an entry-level job, but how many people rely on that? How many families rely on that when they come home from their long shifts? That's what they go to, because other students like me have other jobs that aren't fast food, and they rely on fast food places like mine to help them get lunch, get dinner, get breakfast, so they can function through their day. And I feel that, especially right now in the middle of a pandemic, fast food workers need to be paid more, upwards of 12 to 13 an hour, to compensate for the fact that we come in and start our days before anyone else, so that way we can help them start their day. And we can come in and we expose ourselves every day to the virus. We have the chance to expose ourselves to the virus. And I feel that we need to be paid more for that. And just to leave it off with a little bit funny thing from that skit I was talking about, the headsets, it's something else, because everybody feels the need to yell at the drive-through box. It's modern technology, we more than likely can hear you, but it's still better than the people who just, I can't hear you, please speak up, please, I don't understand what you want. And please listen to us, we do try.